Ready infrastructure here, great acceptance of NAS, and also many international companies located. So the market is actually full of potential. Compared to 2017, Q1 to Q3, our sales have around almost 20% of growth. So amazing. And also, Synology has launched a lot of enterprise solutions and features to fulfill business users' needs. So we have around 40% of growth coming from the enterprise-grade solutions. So this is a good result of all your hard works, and there are more and more SMB adopting Synology in their companies. The listed famous brands here are Synology happy users worldwide. And with wide range of our solutions, we have driven into many different market segments, also including the cosmetics, schools, and government, and etc. To serve more customers, we have launched the Synology replacement services. This is a very important service. When you approach business users, please let them know that we have a replacement services. Remember in the past, if end user has an issue with their hardware, they need to do the RMA. Then what will they do? They need to contact the resellers and then send the units back to resellers, back to distributors, and back to Synology. And once Synology fixes it and replace it, then they need to go through the whole process again. With Synology replacement services, so-called SRS, users can get the replacement unit really fast. So what will they do? They need to go to Synology website and log in an SRS ticket. The ticket will be taken care of from our Synology technical support, and we will assign a technical support to do the troubleshooting to check if it is a hardware issue. Once we confirm, we will immediately inform our local partner who has a warehouse in Singapore to ship out a replacement unit on the next business day. So warehouse in Singapore, users are in Singapore. It means that they can get the replacement unit really fast. Okay, so we have great services, the replacement services. It's targeting the Redmond model, and it's for customers who has Redmond model within a warranty. And now I would like to introduce a little bit more about our reseller events today, because the event today is very special. This is our first event that we introduce our enterprise solutions based on different scenarios. So our speaker Kay will introduce the scenarios and also what solutions you should suggest. So it will be very helpful. Let's welcome Kay.
Okay, cool. So let me introduce myself. My name is Kay. I'm the technical sales manager in Synology. Maybe some of you have saw me already in the session in April. Okay, so nice to see you again. This is actually my 7th year in Synology, and the previous 6 years I was a technical supporter. So I got a lot of feedbacks and from the inquiry tickets. Also, I assist a lot of events worldwide. Then I realized that currently the type of the events are so feature-oriented. So after you attend the event, you know this feature, you know that feature, but you don't know the solution, you don't know how to sell it. The purpose of this session is kind of like to resonate you and your customer, that when you meet something or you meet someone who has a similar scenario, you know Synology has a solution to be promoted. And the subject is actually inspired from a book, that's 5 People You Meet in Heaven. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that. So those are the 4 role models I made for today's show. And those are actually the Synology colleagues. I forced them to take a picture and make it this way. They're kind of very embarrassed, but I think they'll feel proud of themselves after this session. Let's start with Nick. So who's Nick? Nick is a IT administrator in a business. The company scale is like 300 people. He he needs to back up PCs, servers, and virtual machines in his company. So he needs to install a lot of hardware for the storage capacity. Also, at least 4.1 softwares to back up everything in their company. Of course, license. But the most important thing is that Nick plays basketball. So you see the basketball pose over there. Anyone plays basketball? No, it's okay. Maybe it's not very popular in Singapore. Right? The pain points for Nick in his business, in his workload, is the first one is the purchase. The IT admins needs to evaluate a lot of things, including software, hardware, capability, compatibility, everything before the purchase. Also, he needs to be involved in the deployment. So maybe he needs to install 300 different tools for 300 different devices altogether. And the data recovery as well. When a user accidentally deletes something, they don't stop calling. And they'll say something like, hey, I really cannot work. And I have 20 people waiting there, waiting for the important file, even though it's not very important. But it's okay. It's kind of like the IT admins always need to stop what they're doing and then go rescuing their business. Also for support. When something strange happens, the IT admins need to figure out who to contact. It could be the hardware, it could be the software, maybe 4 softwares. It could also be the operating systems like Windows, Linux, or anything. So it's kind of like very troublesome as well. The solution that Synology have, maybe some of you are already very familiar with that. It's called the active backup for business, and also G Suite, because in this scenario, the public cloud backup is companies using G Suite. It's an all-in-one solution with very streamlined management, multiple ways to restore, and also some advanced technologies. Let's go through it one by one. Centralized management. So in the interface, you're able to see that it shows all the status and all the devices to back up, and also how many usage for each user, each task. It's all in one. And you can also generate a report to monitor all the devices, including employees' PCs, the servers, and the VMware hosts. The integration. Currently, the current version only supports the Windows, those versions of Windows, and the VMware. The next version will support Hyper-V and also the Mac client and the client for Linux as well. This is a kind of very important thing called a template. So how active backup for business works, how it benefits the IT admins is like for every physical PC or physical servers, you need to install one thing that's called the agent. The agent comes in MSI format, so you can easily deploy it using the AD domain. After that, the IT administrators need to set up something called template over here, because maybe for different departments, you have different backup policy. Financial department, daily backup, and marketing, weekly backup. For the sales, maybe they need hourly backup, sort of things. The template can be set to by each user or each group. Domain users groups can also be applied. Restoration type, like bare metal, everything, and the backup frequency, even the backup destination. So different teams, the backup for different teams can go to different folders. After the IT admin set up the template, all the users need to do is to log in, and the backup starts. So no complicated settings on the user side. Okay, and then the VMware vSphere support. It supports backup schedule and 3.5 restore methods. Why I say 3.5? It's like the instant VM restore. In a VMware host, there might be a local data store. When the data store is corrupt and the virtual machine is super important. What to do? It's like you need to like restore the backup, right? But the instant restore, why I call it instant? Because you'll make a connection through NFS to Synology. Then Synology becomes the storage. With these, the two machines over there, it takes only like 5 seconds to restore. But the IOPS may not be very good because Synology is a tier 2 backup server, so you don't look for like super good performance. If the VMware host you have vCenter, you can easily migrate it back when the original data store is recovered. So it's like using vMotion to migrate it back. I'll do a demo later. The second one is full VM restore. It's basically just restore everything from backup to the original data store of the VMware. So the RTO will be slightly longer because you need to restore a VM and then boot it up. The third one is to run on VMM. The full name of VMM is called the Virtual Machine Manager. It's a free package in Package Center. It works exactly as a hypervisor. It's just like a VirtualBox or a VMware or something. Then you can run Windows or Linux on the SM. With the integration between the Active Backup and Virtual Machine Manager, you can easily run the backup file as another virtual machine on Synology for very urgent cases. Of course, you can kind of like export it to VMDK and then import it again back to VMware. It's all supported. The advanced technology. First one, that's called the change block tracking for ever forward incremental. Only the first version will be full backup. The rest of them are all black level incremental. You may be wondering, like for other very leading solutions, they may recommend users to do hourly or weekly full backup. Why is that? Because they are using reference for the versions. When more versions you have, more snapshots you're taken, more reference needs to go back, and that affects the performance. That's why they recommend users to do the full backup in like 1 week or 2 weeks of time. But in Synology, with our native feature, we have a new file system called RFS. For this one, that's the native feature. So we don't need to make any reference between the versions. It's like the file system will compare the blocks natively. So you don't need to make the full backup, and you don't need to have any downtime. We have a customer in Taiwan, and he tried to back up a 6 terabyte PC using Active Backup for Business. And he has a lot of duplicated files inside. It ended up back up 200 gigabytes only. And also the global deduplication. It's a cross-platform and cross-devices deduplication. How good is that? If you're backing up 5 Windows 10 physical PCs, 5 Windows 10 virtual machines, and you back up all together using Active Backup for Business, the system files only take 1 copy because they are the same. But yeah, of course, if you're backing up Windows 10 and Windows 2016 server, they may be different. For the same operating system, they only take 1 copy. Okay, let's have a look. Right, so this is how the Active Backup for Business looks like. Because it's a remote desktop, so it may be a little bit slower. The first one I would like to introduce will be the template. So when I click Edit, you can kind of like name the template. It applies to a single user or a group. About the device type, because Active Backup for Business is for free. There's no license fee, nothing. Where if you have a Class Series unit running in your company, maybe you can create another volume to test because it's totally free. When you're doing the setup and for the template, there will be 2 types for you to select, PC or physical server. The main difference is not the version. It's not like the PC is in Windows version, the Windows PC is in PC version or server version, but the restore type. For those slight, like not that heavy users, you may select PC because PC only supports the file level restore. But for physical servers, it just supports 3 types of restoration. You can also restore a physical server to VMware. And the source and the destination could do the bare metal. If the hardware is broken, you just restore the bare metal back, or just back up the system volume. This one I'd like to introduce is called the backup verification. Sometimes you're backing up 200 PCs at one time. You want to make sure every backup is working. You can enable this, and you'll power up the backup using the virtual machine manager and take a short recording. So if you have 200 PC and enable the backup verification, you can see a 200 channel with their booting up recordings to make sure all the backup is backed up properly. Destinations can be selected as well, and the schedules repeat time is down to hourly. The retention rules, so you can keep all the versions, or for example, I want to keep one version in a month and want to last you for a year. So just select this and put 12 months. That's it. All can be customized. And the privilege as well. You could specify the users for the backup file. So basically, the user can only see his or her own backup, cannot see others. But the administrators can see all the backups. Okay, so let's down to virtual machine. To add a VM host, it's very easy. You just need to type in the IP address, account, and password. We already have a vCenter set up here, so I just skip this step. This is how the virtual machine looks like. See, this is a HQK VM, and the data store is on the local storage of the VMware. I right-click, and I delete it from the disk. Okay, so it's gone. When I come back, do a little bit of refresh, scroll down, you can see the error message saying that the virtual machine is not found in the hypervisor. Then click restore. Then you see 3.5, the instant restore, full restore, virtual machine manager, also the portal. I click instant and choose a version. Click the summary, and that's it. So as you can see, only it's like 6 seconds, and it's completed. When we come back, KVM is back. You can see it's actually running on Synology through NFS. When the original data stores recovers, you just migrate it here back to the original data store. Okay. So this is an all-in-one solution. Active backup for business to back up the physical PCs, servers, and VMware. Hyper-V is on the way. Also, the virtual machine manager, you can put up your physical PCs. It's kind of like a physical to virtual. So it's an all-in-one solution, including software and hardware. Any problem, you contact Synology, and that's it. Right. After Nick, this is Mike. So you guys know what he's doing. I'm not showing this pose now because I don't have spare pens today. Okay, so who's Mike? He's a friend of the IT manager. So one day, Mike is walking and see his friend smiling. So he asks hey, what's good in your life? Why you smile why are you so happy? Because the friends got a new storage solution, which is very efficient. And of course, that's Synology. They're There are 200 employees. It's actually an actual case study from Germany. They are an IT company with 200 employees, and they're running 70 virtual machines on the VMware host using Synology as the storage. The 70 VM, including those heavy loading ones, like the Exchange server and SQL server, and also web services. Speak to storage. Synology can not only work for the VM host, but also servers. For those really common protocols like iSCSI, NFS, or Samba, all supported. Also for NVR. Because for very cheap solutions, not cost-effective solutions, they all come with like the NVR may only have 2 or 4 drives. What happens if the customer wants to keep the footage for a year? You need another storage. Most of the NVR or most of the camera that supports protocols like iSCSI, CIFS, and FTP. The only thing you need to do is to enable the service and put in IP address, and that's it. It's kind of like very similar to plug and play. And high-end Synology models have all the certifications from those famous brands like VMware, Windows Server, Citrix, and OpenStack. But the iSCSI feature is supported on all series of Synology NAS. Because we know, like for home users or small and medium business, they don't actually care if you have the certification or not. They just want to use a small NAS and work as a storage, and that's all. What's the advanced feature for Synology in the storage field? The requirement is like all service needs to run 24/7 non-stop. I can't have any downtime for my service. Or the data needs to be replicated locally and remotely for the disaster recovery solutions. And the performance must be good because they are running 70 heavy loading virtual machines. The solution for Synology is called the high availability and snapshot and replication. High availability package is being released for several years, and in this version we have renewed the user interface and add a lot of new features. First one is intuitive. Let's see the new feature, new interface. In here you're able to monitor both machines in a very clear way. It's seamless. Now the failover time is less than 1 minute. We tested for 60 volumes, all in 1 terabyte size. It takes 38 seconds to do failover, which means if the threshold of the virtual machine has been set to like 100 seconds or 180 seconds, even after the failover, or even during the failover, the virtual machine does not stop. Informative, with very precise error message. You know, before, if you have any error message, you just say error or operation failed. Operation failed actually means I don't know. Yeah, so in here, we add some troubleshooting steps. When you see the error message, down there are some tips. Like you can check here, you can check there. If you cannot fix it, you contact support. That's better for if you're going on-site service for your customers. At least you're doing something. Like, not like, you know, yeah, it's always better if you can do something. Even though it's not useful, but you're doing something. Yeah, this is kind of my feeling when I'm going on-site. You know, you're not fixing the problem, you're fixing the customer's mood. So it's better if you have something to do. Snapshot and replication. Instant, the snapshot takes only seconds. As I just explained, the power of BTRFS file system is kind of like, look, it creates a map. We call it metadata. It locates the file. So for example, file version 1 locates on block 123, and file version 2 is 125, it's like that. So taking a snapshot is very easy because it's just making the metadata. It can be taken in seconds. And flexible, the retention policy. It's just the interface I just showed in Active Backup for Business. That can also apply to the replication. So you can take like every 5 minutes and I leave 1 copy for a day, and 5 copies in a week, or 7 copies in a month, like that. That's all can be customized. In the early version of snapshot and replication, the most frequently asked questions like, hey, how do I know how much size it can be released after I delete this version or that version? Before, it cannot be calculated because those are the metadata. But with the strong power of Synology developers, we finally created something called a snapshot calculator. You can easily calculate each size of the snapshot. So if you're running out of space, you just remove those snapshots and the space will be released. So self-service recovery. For the iSCSI LUN, the snapshots can be recovered in Windows. So you just kind of right-click and restore. It's like that. Okay, let's see how it works. Right, so the high availability. No, it's not that one. Okay, here. This is the HA. And we also create a very interesting feature that helps you to locate which one is the active, which one is the passive. So if you're looking for it, all of the LEDs turns orange, turns amber, and then start beeping. It's kind of very convenient if you're locating which one is active or which one is passive. Before you can only check the serial number to guess the IP address, but now you have something like this. Okay, so in a cluster, when I remove the heartbeat table, and I don't know why, but today it needs a refresh. When I'm in the office, it does not. Okay. I just want to show the error message. But normally it does not do it this way. I think something is happening on the router. Yeah, but anyways, let's give it one more chance. Okay, I give up. Let's go back. But normally it shows something like the heartbeat is broken. You can check some parts like that, so you just follow the steps. And the snapshots and replication is here. So for the snapshots, you can share folder snapshots, or even, yeah, right. Now it shows. And iSCSI LUN. And the snapshots list in here. You can easily edit or remove it, or recover. I saw it here. Okay, that's it. Let's move on. Because life is hard, so just move on. Right? Let's have a recap. The high availability manager is for the service continuity. The failover only takes 30-ish seconds. If you have only one iSCSI LUN, it may be quicker. Snapshot and replication. Instant snapshot is a few seconds, and it's supposed self-recovery. So you can restore a snapshot in Windows.
Like a person with 2 brains, 2 sets of core components, including the memory, the power supply, and even the main board. It applies the NTB to be its interface, which supports larger bandwidth and also shorter latency. Customers with UC300 do not need to purchase additional 10 GB card, which makes the whole solution more cost-effective. And from the software side, UC300, both controllers can process the iSCSI services, and the performance can reach over 100K IOPS. So when there's anything happen, for example, maybe the system upgrade, so one controller can take over another controller's services. So users will not feel the service drop. So in short, UC300 provides the service on continuous services, and it will not service drop due to single points of failure. And the performance is really good. And the second product I would like to introduce is what people have been asking for a long time. Synology Mesh Router, the MR2200AC. And also, with MR22AC and SRM 1.2, we can provide a complete, better Wi-Fi environment and non-stop Wi-Fi connection. Okay, as you can see, with multiple node of deployments, the MR2200AC can create and build up a broader coverage. So every corner can receive the Wi-Fi signal. And also, it is a tri-band router. It supports two 5G network and also one 2.4G network. And each mesh router can link with each other without affecting the Wi-Fi performance. And also, we have like SRM 1.2. SRM 1.2 supports mesh Wi-Fi. There is a special topology, star plus decision topology. This can help to build up a more stronger Wi-Fi structure. So if there's one point of failure, then others can create another Wi-Fi connections. So the whole connection will not drop because of single point of failure. And also, SRM 1.2 supports the WPA3 standard, which can greatly enhance the security of the Wi-Fi. It also supports a whole new package called Safe Access. And this Safe Access package, well, it's like previous parental control and threat prevention. So it can protect your Wi-Fi environment to be safe. And this is the brief spec of the MR2200AC. As you can see, it is with a Qualcomm quad-core CPU, and it is a tri-band router, and it supports the complete protocols, complete standard K, V, and R to provide a seamless roaming. And some people might be curious about the comparison between others. So as you can see, it is obvious that we not only provide a complete standard K, V, and R, we also provide the flexibility for customer to purchase. They can decide how many mesh routers they need. So we don't limit it that you need to purchase maybe 2 units or 3 units at a time. And something more important is that our price is very competitive. You can purchase only one mesh router with the MSRP 119 US dollars. This is before tax. And you can see that the price is really competitive among all. And the only one whose price is lower than Synology is the Google Wi-Fi. But please notice that the Google Wi-Fi is a dual band router instead of a tri-band router. So it is obvious that Synology MR2200AC is powerful and also cost-effective. Some people might wonder that they maybe have already used RT2600AC at home or at the office. So they would like to know if they can work together with the RT2600AC and MR2200AC. And the answer is yes. You can use the RT2600AC as a host and also add new MR2200AC into the mesh system. And the one system can support up to 10 nodes. So you can use the 10 nodes, 10 routers together in the mesh system. Of course, if you would like to use the MR2200AC as a host, it is also okay. So it really depends on your application and your decision. The third part is also a whole new product line, the RS1619 Access Plus. introduced this model, some people will ask me, why you need a 1U but XS series model? As you may know, the XS series model are like more high-end, more powerful. It can help you to run a lot of services. And the reason why we have 1U XS series model is because of the hard drive capacity. Now, in the past, the one hard drive maybe like 6 terabytes, 8 terabytes, but now it's like 12 terabytes, 14 terabytes. So users found that 4-bay is enough for them, but they still need a NAS that can run powerful applications, run lots of complicated applications. So this is the model why we come up with 1U and XS series model. And here is a specification. It is with 8 gigabyte of memory and can support up to 64 gigabytes. And it is 10G ready, and also have M.2 on board slot to support the NVMe or SATA. And this is also a competitor comparison. So you may find out that the price between amongst our 1619 XS Plus and others are only slightly gap. But we can support like larger memory, and we can support up to 64, while others maybe 16 or 8. And we can support 3 PCIe slots, while others supports 2 or even none. Also, it supports like 5 years of warranty. And still remember our SRS, Synology replacement services? So within the 5 years, you can enjoy the SRS services. And the price is similar. So this is a 1U XS series, which is very cost-effective and powerful. Okay, this is the product part. And now we are going to one of the most anticipated part, the lucky draw. So please, Kate, please come up, and we will go to the lucky draw. If you have any questions about the new models, you can contact me during the demo or the networking time. Okay, let's see who is the lucky winner. Hey, please.
How many can I pick?
One.
One?
Yeah.
You get more? I get 11.
11?
One?
One. Who is the lucky person?
Dạ, không phải mình rồi, đợi sáng tí của mình. Cái card của
Okay.
bên em dùng cái đó.
Lee Kui what? From Amax. Wow! Wow! Congratulations!
Đi chạy tới luôn quý ba chứ. Em mắt. Tên chị cha.
Our lucky winner?
Thích
Yeah.
quá.
Congratulations!
Quá trời không bao giờ được trúng quà.
Take a photo, please. Jeff. Jeff. Take a photo.
You take a photo?
Yeah. Don't fast.
Maybe selfie.
Con này 28G, cảm ơn cho thích non bây giờ nó tặng con gì.
Okay, so now is the networking and demo time. If you're interested in any of our solutions, you may come to us and we can do some demo or a further explanation. And if you need any support, please feel free to contact us. Okay, thank you for your participation today. Thank you.
Mình trúng thì mình bán